Good morning, everybody. Well, what do we have here? We have a sell-off. Looks like 8:30 was a catalyst for more move lower. At 4 p.m. yesterday, we had quite the sell-off here from the catalyst there, like the news, right? Was Meta earnings. I believe Meta is down 15% or so. Last I checked, I checked after hours yesterday, but so what to do, right? I believe I left off the stream yesterday saying I'm only looking for shorts yesterday, and I believe it was Wednesday high of the week, and pretty much happened. It's playing out. Let's see ES real quick. ES tapped right into that gap there, 50% down. We closed, strong close, not in the gap, right? So that was what was important. We didn't close above 50% of it. We didn't even close in it. In fact, the strong close here. ES actually hasn't hit its 60-day lows here. I believe that this is eventually the drawn liquidity for ES. The January 31st low into this FEG here. So I do think that there is room for lower. Unfortunately, the 8:30 news already expanded quite a bit. So I'll have to wait. I believe there's 10 a.m. news today. High impact. Yes. So, let's see. Okay. ES is the weaker sister. It made an SMT with on the hourly here. NQ took the high. Right? Let's actually measure out these 2 hourly fair value gaps. Right, so we have quite the gap down. We're going to start off this morning on the RTH gap. Right? So I would expect a little push up higher. So maybe in the morning, at open to manipulate. Not manipulate, but retrace. Manipulate, whatever you want to say. Gotta be careful. Today we have Google and Microsoft earnings after hours also. So it's tech earnings week. We've super volatile. Is the 30th the last day of the month this week? No, it's next week because today's Thursday. Okay. All right, so you see this quite the gap down here. So I will actually mark out this gap down to see. We have a retracement to 50% back up. Right, because, yeah, that's what I'll do. Because for day trades, I would need some sort of retracement. If it just dies without me, that's all I can do is be okay, it's fine, because it's expanded quite a bit. You don't want to get caught up shorting in a discount. So you just make sure I got that marked out correctly here on the close of this candle. Yes. And then the open of this one. Yep. Okay. The open of this candle. Yep, pretty much. Cool. Let's turn it back on. Maybe I'll do a fib on that actually. So I know the exact prices. probably gonna be easier on the eyes too. And the open is 39.50. Yep. Okay. And then I'll double click it. And Q here. Yep, so the morning is actually first 5-minute candle is opening lower for now. Filled this gap up from Tuesday. Yeah, actually, I think we already did that during the. Actually, no, we didn't. Okay, cool. So, let me see that again, actually. Open of this candle is actually 53.75. Anyway, quite funny, you know, to see, Wednesday high of the week is playing out quite well, I'd say. So let me think what's happening. Yeah. I would say just Thursday, Friday continuation lower then, I wouldn't be looking for like Friday back up. So I'm only gonna be looking for shorts today and tomorrow, but only at the appropriate areas. I don't want to be chasing here or something. So on the hourly, we could see it's like a market maker sell model in play. I personally went to bed last night, marked this out, this hourly fair value gap, and I was like, okay, hopefully like at the open tomorrow, 9:30, we manipulate up into like the 600s area, and like you had seen like the hourly FEG marked out, but we really did not retrace too much into that one. You can't always get what you want. 8:30 news just sent us a lot lower. I think that was the GDP and the unemployment claims. Yeah. So as a day trader, I'm not going to be in a position at that time. There's always going to be plenty of moves where you can catch it without being in a high risk scenario type of thing. So what do we have? In London, manipulation up into this, and then we're having New York expansion lower, or like London retracement, whatever you want to call that. Yes, weaker retracement into this, like you can see here. Actually, there was an SMT here, I believe. No, it wasn't, but weaker retracement into this hourly fair value gap. We'll see if it starts to bounce or retrace here. It looks like ES is coming into like taking these swing lows down here for now. Actually, don't need this anymore. Could be a retracement now. So perhaps now we start retracing, and then I don't know where it would go to. We'll see, maybe here at 25% of that little gap. 10 a.m. news, and then maybe send us lower. It's tough when right, we sort of hit liquidity before 10 a.m. So maybe today will be a little bit more difficult for Silver Bullet because of that, right? Because it's hitting some liquidity here. order block and such, where running these lows, I think, won't happen so quickly. Yeah. We'll find out. So far, let's see what's happened. We just had, yeah, a 5 minute move down, about 5 points on ES or so. Can mark out the open. Okay, NQ. Okay, sort of being bought up. So that's what I'm thinking is like, I don't really want to be playing, personally don't want to be playing the move back up, the retracement up. I would like to just wait for that and then play the expansion again lower. Yeah, well, but we'll see if the market gives an opportunity. How was everyone's day yesterday? A lot of people were commenting that they also caught shorts in the morning, so it's good to see. But whatever, doesn't matter. When you always, it's either you got to put down the risk if you have a trade idea that's actually your model, and then gather your data. It's either a loss. I mean, it's either a win or a lesson, or whatever people like to say. And it's not really much of a lesson if you followed everything, right? So that's important to know whether you followed your model. So ES definitely is the weaker sister. You see DXY, what's she doing? Okay. This actually worked out pretty well yesterday on this. Marked out that order block and these lows. Huh. Okay, but overnight, kind of weird. But DXY, point is, it's holding up out of this fair value gap on the daily, the higher one. I do think it is going for this buy side. So I do think that there's more downside in the indices. We're starting to get finally some, like, participation from DXY. I'll have to see what 10 a.m. does here. 10 a.m. high impact news. What's the 15-minute look like here? Okay. I feel like pina coladas. I just want to remind everyone also, with these tech earnings weeks, sometimes just price action is gonna happen like this, where it's like, oh man, the 9:30 open, the indices open to the session just won't give you opportunities and such. So that's just how it goes. Don't feel well, whatever. I'm not gonna say don't feel FOMO or something, because probably can't control any emotions and such, but just know that there's always going to be another opportunity, and that's just how it goes sometimes. Like, sometimes, or 8:30 news or whatever sends you a large expansion, and then, you know, after expansion, what happens? Accumulation or retracement. You know, so just don't get caught up in then, you know, chasing, like selling lows or something that's not in your model, you know, selling in a discount, whatever. It's not gonna end well, right? So anyway, being bought up a little bit. Do you like pina coladas? That's my song today. All right. Here we are retracing, tracing. So maybe this area here will be kind of an interesting point here to look for. Moves lower since we'll see. The 15-minute, I'm just looking. Okay, we painted both sides this way, this way. This is actually balanced, but you know, we'll have to see. We can retrace back to 50% or whatever. But on ES, maybe it's cleaner. Yeah, it is, right? Perhaps I end up trading ES today. We'll see. So ES on the left and NQ on the right. We can always see what I'm looking at here on the top right and what time frame. Okay. If you like pina coladas. So ES is definitely a little weaker, as we've talked about here. Like, it's sold off more, retraced less, and here you can see like sort of NQ. Not that NQ, like, that's why I'm not really considering this as like a 5-minute breaker or something I would get involved in, really, because personally, because I don't think that there's any major liquidity pool that it just hit, really. It took like a 4-hour fair value gap and order block if you like that type of thing, sure. But so sure, some people, if they want to do a 5-minute breaker thing, but that's not really my like I said, that's not my plan today to be buying to retrace, because I don't know where it would stop. It could potentially stop here. You know, that wouldn't really be worth it. But like I said, like ES is weaker because look how it's not above this high yet, and it's not making any fair value gap really, as it's retracing there. I mean, as it's like, yeah. So, you know, I'll probably switch to the 1 minute if we end up just coming into this area, or even this, you know, 25 of that little that gap down. I had this thicker for a different level earlier. I was looking at I was looking at last week's candle body, and I was like, okay, we definitely don't want to like close above the 50%. We did, and we pretty much stalled, like, and it was like 50% of this candle is like 656 or so. 665. Okay. But like in the afternoon, that's where we were stalling. Okay. Yeah, yes, a lot weaker here. This is what I expect right now in the morning, is that like we're probably gonna have a couple of like some choppiness maybe. Right, because I'm thinking my list, right, for high resistance conditions, we hit some major liquidity pool before indices opened, and we hit this, for yes, it's a swing low into a hourly fair value gap. I never done. I gotta start. Okay, using that control better. Control key. Order block, fair value gap lined up there, lows. So it makes sense. That's a pretty large liquidity pool, I would say, and a large move lower. So yeah, I expect like choppiness. I expect like SMTs here, where ES, like we said, is maybe takes us low again while NQ doesn't, and indices will be out of sync. I would not count that then as like an SMT, because of what I said with the high resistance conditions. Got a checklist. Tanya, react over stress with singing. If stop loss hits, she sings the whole day. I don't know. I don't think that is funny though. Castillo, my assistant, just sent that saying that's funny. Someone made that comment. So it's kind of funny, but I don't think I sing when I'm stressed. I sing when I'm happy, but also I think I hum when I'm a little nervous. And maybe I shouldn't be so vulnerable in saying everything, right? Because then later I'll get people psychoanalyzing me. Everyone's a freaking psychotherapist in the comments. It's okay. It's what I signed up for. So it's what you sign up for when you decide to expose yourself to the elements by being a live streamer. So that's okay. As long as people are a little funny about it and not completely indecent. So stay classy, my friends. What's that commercial of like the guy? It's like a beer commercial or something. It's like, stay something, my friends. I don't know what this is. This was before. It was like what YM used as the move higher. Cool. I'm looking at YM a bit. Just to see like the indices being out of sync. Yeah. Right, because YM is just leaking lower and lower. YM is the Dow. Oh, we have news in like 10 minutes. So I was really thinking, maybe we'd retrace by then, but I guess maybe news will be the catalyst for maybe more of a retracement. I personally, like I said, I don't know if this little 5-minute breaker in fair value gap will work in that sense because of the low probability conditions, like I said. So I'm not taking a trade right now, especially, like I said, my plan is not to long the retracement right now. No thanks. Like, that's not going to be the easy trade, right? And here we are with ES taking that low again, right? Pretty textbook, high resistance conditions. So it's about knowing, for me, really knowing when to not engage, right? When to keep the gunpowder dry, so to speak. So right now it's not ideal for me because when you're thinking about it, right, the daily candle is pretty much mostly formed at this point. If I'm thinking lower, right, lower bear bias, etc. So a lot of times there's shenanigans happening on these days where there's large tech earnings. So it's kind of like, do you think, like, even if this expanded like to here, which would be quite a lot, like in the morning session, which I think it's lower probability to happen, first off, and second off, we already expanded like 75% of the way there. So I'd rather not. So like we've seen here, right, NASDAQ is holding up, not taking this low yet. ES, weaker sister. Nvidia up 2%. Is that true? That's kind of weird. Yeah, I'll have some indicator on the 80 EMA on the daily just to have like a general gist of that, by the way. I wanted to see Apple and Microsoft real quick. Apple. Yeah, I haven't really touched my stock charts too much. I used to trade stocks, you guys. That's how I started. I never traded Forex. See weekly. Yeah, Apple could definitely trace down back here. Didn't even get back to like April lows. I mean, no, this is last year April. This is the monthly. Okay. Google and Microsoft earnings. Oh, quite a long time since I looked at this then. Right, Google's near all-time highs here. It has this weekly imbalance actually. Right. I think that's here. Could definitely get to here. You look at it had a gap up here on this day, March 18. I believe that was probably some news about government contracting, if I remember correctly. If I recall correctly. And then like you have all these politicians who like just coincidentally they had Google calls, whatever, and it's so crazy how we let our politicians like do that. Like they can literally legally insider trade. They just have to report their trades, and then a lot of them just delay it by a lot. They don't do it on time, and then they just pay like a $300 fine or something. It's insane. And it's funny how like they introduced that bill to the House and how it's never been passed or voted upon, I think. Weird. Okay, so I want to make this visible on all time frames. Yeah. Because, you know, if we're having these earnings, then this could provide a little bit of... Just want to see how that lines up with that. Okay. With the daily that I marked out. Okay. So I won't really care that much about that then. I'll have this daily one worked out better. So yeah, I think Google could head down back here to fill this gap. And Microsoft, I think it's also near. Okay, interesting here. It dived a lot in conjunction with Meta, I guess. Let's get back here. Right now it's like playing around in this imbalance. Which lows are these? January lows? Cool. Yeah, I think I can get down here. So that's just me trying to look at like different stocks. And also just like thinking about the implications of the coming weeks and such. So like I said, I think that ES is heading towards like this area in the coming couple weeks or so. So it's like another 100 points from here. So we had the 4-hour now closing in about 1 minute. Okay. Pretty choppy, right? It's not everybody getting excited about breakdown traders, at least, you know. They definitely not good this morning. I don't know if they are even playing that, but you know, anyone that got seduced by that first 5-minute candle, for sure not doing well. That's why, like I said, like it's important not to get caught up in any FOMO feelings or anything. Short, like always remain to your principles. Keep your principles in mind, or else, you know, you'll lose money for no reason and feel bad, and then you won't even know if that's because of your. You know what? I'm gonna change. You guys are awesome. Thank you for let's see what happened. Wow, FX for a Living donated 36 Canadian dollars through Super Chat. Hi Tanya, wishing everyone a great day. Thank you so much. You guys, I think I get scared from that sound effect. I think I need to change that today. Someone, I'll have to remember. But thank you, FX for Living. He's a G. He legit, like, he plays London session and New York. He trades London session. And he's got his whole system to a T. Thank you. I appreciate it. So, like I said, yes, the weaker one. It's just me marking it out. It doesn't mean like I would short anything like this. And this is likely going to fail for NQ. I don't really think that this is going to work out. People that are taking this little idea because of the high resistance conditions. And it's not in line with the weekly order flow to be it's just going to be lower probability if you do that. So, you know, I think it's more likely on Q. It's another new low, sort of just continues chopping. Yeah. So pretty good lesson here, I think, in just not engaging, right? And especially you guys, if this is my rule, if my checklist, right? If we hit like a major liquidity pool, like I marked this out, right? And I'm going to play the reversal or whatever, I make sure not to be on the 1 minute doing that for high resistance conditions, right? For that criteria where we hit, you know, this liquidity pool before 10 a.m. Because the 1 minute can fake you out. Like I'm sure in the past or some people, I probably did this in the past for sure. You know, getting faked down this fair value gap here, right? Just thinking this is some sort of market structure shift. It's not really. feasible. I wait for at least a 5 in those circumstances. That's how I've just like adjusted and adapted to market conditions in that way. How much are we down on the day right now? 1.6% for ES, that's quite a lot. 1.8 for NQ, right? So, and that just sticks to my principle of like, okay, thinking about it. That's also why I'm not shorting right now, because it's already down that much, right? 1.6%. Sure, it can go down a little bit more, but it's not going to be easy salad day in that sense. Because how often is ES actually down like 2% of the day, right? If we're already down 1.8%, 1.64%, and then that you only have like 0.4% left of that, right? It doesn't even happen that often to really get worried. Oh my gosh. I feel like people might now be Timothy Rogers donated $5 to chat. Something you to change is how loud it is. Yeah, maybe I will change it. Yeah, I can probably change that now, just a little bit, hopefully. Because right now, it's not like I am particularly interested in this. I'm gonna put an alert for when NQ hits low of day to sort of be like, yeah, you see, like it's not, that's why I avoided that or whatever. YM, the sickest of the sisters. Poor Dow. You know what's interesting is that, like, that was like, look how it reached into the Sibby, by the way. Weekly Sibby pretty nicely here. That the Dow has so many imbalances down here. It's like kind of scary. So perhaps I should do a little standard deviation. Okay. What happened here? Wait, how did that? Okay, I don't need this one anymore. Oh yeah, what was I marking out yesterday here? Was that from here swing low to swing high? It also retraced like 50% into weekly Sibby. Okay, cool. So I will delete that, but I'll also mark out those. Maybe we see any other sort of conjunctions here. Just looking at if anything lines up. Not my oh, this was pretty actually nice. Pretty nice here. Okay. So Dow is the sickest sister. Okay, NQ struggling. Like all indices out of sync, you guys. So I mean NQ is whatever. It still hasn't taken the low, but um that doesn't mean it won't. I think it just chops. It probably eventually takes the low. Um just not worth it for me to be long in this long, really, for my personally, because of all this. This is not like an SMT I'm interested in, right? Because they're so out of sync. They're all you want just like a small lending of the hand price action, price showing its hand. Like so even some SMTs, like sometimes I'll miss because of it's subtle or such, but not like for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 15 straight minutes like that. Reaching up. Oh yeah, what was I doing? I was trying to see to lower that donate. I was like thinking some people might just donate to like scare me now. Okay. How do I do that? Don't remember. Hmm. Oh, alert box, yeah. Oh, you know what? The most simple thing I can do is lower my desktop volume. Yeah. um. Okay. Okay. Sound volume was 50%. We're gonna put it to like 25%, and then okay. Save settings. Okay. And then okay, I think we're good now. We should be pretty good. So, I want to look at gold in the meantime. I think Dow definitely expanding towards last week's low. Um, and more would be good. Close below the lows. What's the Dow look like on the hourly? Okay. This was weekly SIBI, the blue. So, indices, what's the range right now since the open? It's around 60 points for like the past hour. Pretty small range for NQ, considering, she's NQ. She can, in a good day, in the morning, it's like 200 points by now. That's not my measuring stick. Yeah, that's from high to low. So most people are not, unless you're like, most people are not catching the high to the low. Is what I'm saying. So let's see. We're traced into 25% of that little gap down, or the RTH that I measured from this open to this close. See how much it ends up retracing. I don't even know if is ICT in the chat today. You know what I'm get sometimes, because I'm not really reading the chat too much. I'm like, oh, what if like sometimes I'm saying something, and then he's like, he's saying the opposite. Wouldn't that be funny? Or like he's saying like, I don't know. The only thing I could probably think of is like me saying like, I don't feel like taking this, and then him be like, it's gonna go run up real quick now or something, which is fine for me. I'm totally fine with missing a trade. So it did look like that this ended up working out, but very deep here and uncomfortable for people. I don't know if someone was taking this and they put their stop at the low of this breaker, they would have gotten stopped. So that's rough. Let me just think for a moment. Cool. Would have had to be like a 40 point. Yeah, that's just too much for me. 40 point risk for like 1 hour or so. Yeah. Just personally, for me, not personally worth it. The Dow, are you still sick? Yeah. She's very far away. Is this the 830 high? Yeah. Okay. It's 1013. Okay. I'll end up seeing what happens here, how much it decides to retrace. It's so far just tapping into this. This is an area where I would probably look for rejection. But there's no type of rejections, then, you know. ES still has yet to come up to here. DXY is hanging around. She's just hanging around. Hmm. Nothing yet. I could definitely keep reaching up into that. So. Okay. It could go to 50%, etc. You know. There's no smaller time frame shift lower. Okay. Gold. I feel like that was still loud. That kind of scared me. But welcome to the Bagel Club. Who is it? Well, check it out later. It's running up here. And Q, quite the retracement. So, we're not to just get in blindly. It's the 830 high. If we end up like taking that 830 high, I'll be kind of shocked with how weak ES is. I mean, that'll be another SMT, I guess, but so far we're digging into this 15-minute FEG midpoint. Not really much structure to like lows being formed or anything for reversals, which I anticipate because of the whole nature of us hitting that liquidity right now. Let me just think for a moment. Okay. So let's see if it ends up rejecting here. It's all about reactions to those areas. ES didn't even go back up to 25%. Very weak. Maybe, maybe later today when I'm looking for more shorts, because it's like it's likely it'll happen in the afternoon. Maybe I try ES instead. Also ES, you guys, like I started on ES. I started trading ES and only ES, and I think that's how the 2022 mentorship started out too. And it's really good for you're just starting out in futures to stick with ES because of it moves slower. The structure is oftentimes a little bit cleaner in the fact that like NQ can be more wild in taking out more stops on the way. So yeah, we'll see, said the blind man. Okay, so it's in the 15-minute point of interest right now for me. Therefore, I move down now to the 1. There's not really any type of swing low form, so before structurally, so it can definitely continue just sort of like running up if it wants to. spooling or whatever. We'll see if it ends up hitting these highs. I'll be kind of taking I don't know, being a little bit because we expanded from here, we closed below on the hourly. I wouldn't think that we would come all the way back up and take out those highs again, right? So I would think that for hourly structure to sort of remain intact, that we shouldn't come back all the way up there. Dun, 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 dun. But there's nothing on the 1 minute right now to look for, you know, reversal to the downside. So where are we up? We're up like 1.3%. I mean down 1.3% right now on both indices. So nothing as of yet here. It does look like it retrace more. I mean, if this takes this high, I'm like, I'll just be like, damn, I'll have to reassess the afternoon, essentially. Or even like, I'll have to reassess if even like it wants to, I don't know, come back all the way up into 600s. Guess we did the low for NQ did not break it, so for now. But I honestly did not really see, this was not clean enough for me to enter anything. Plan, stick to the plan. ES. Really interested to see if ES gets back up here. Let's do a fib of this, leg down. Yeah, this is right above also. 50%. And this is 618 right now for NQ. But really, chillin'. DXY. Okay. Bum bum ba-dum bum. What are we gonna do? I don't know. What is your daily objective? Like I said, the daily in the couple of coming weeks we're gonna go, I believe, lower here. DES, that's my weekly objective. Today's objective, well, I think the daily candle, well, first off, what the hell is that for NQ? It's such a small body candle right now. I don't think that this is going to end a small body candle on the day, so I'm keeping that in mind, right? ES is pretty much a pretty large body here. So I am looking for lower prices, but I won't get into anything unless structure permits it, and it doesn't. It's just grinding. So what's the weekly like right now? Weekly, yeah, I think Thursday, Friday lower. I mean, on ES at least, because broke this weekly fair value gap. I mean, weekly order block, whatever. We had such a strong down close here. We have this still. We have a weekly fair value gap and a low. The 60-day lows here. And it is the weaker of the sisters, so I have to remind myself that again. Okay. Let me remind myself to short the weaker. That's what I do. And the probabilities are better in your favor. That's my plan, actually. Especially, NQ can be so erratic right now. Recently, this was not the cleanest action, especially in the afternoon yesterday. Like, I did get a little bit thrown off for NQ. I was like thinking, okay, we're just gonna reject here. When this hourly like closed above this, I was like, what? All right, maybe we'll go for that equal high left in that hourly fair value gap, 4-hour fair value gap. And then we just like straight up dropped from there when that hourly close, right? It was here, and then we straight like this, and then the way that it disrespected these fair value gaps on the move up, I was like, okay, no, that's wrong. And then I tweeted like Wednesday high of the week, and then we had our Meta earnings, and we had our little gap down overnight. The 6 p.m. open. But anyway, let me write that reminder here. Write that on the NQ chart, because like when you're analyzing NQ, then you'll see it. When I'll see it. This is the 5-minute for ES and 5-minute for NQ. 5-minute for ES, really no displacements back up higher here. Oh, where'd it go? Did I delete it? My little gap. Yeah, I did delete it. So far I predicted, okay, like, hey, I don't want to really get into the long, so I don't feel FOMO at all. And I thought the short idea is not really there this morning because we hit that liquidity. So mostly tape reading, and when you're tape reading, you can, have more flexibility. Okay, so we did not even hit this 0.25 yet. It's not interesting how weak that is, right? Didn't even retrace a quarter of the gap down on ES. I think we did almost half of the way right now for NQ. Okay. DXY. Let's see if it bounces on this breaker, 15-minute breaker here. And then maybe we'll see what the indices do. So far, really, it's just grind. Do. Trying to remember something. Wait a second, what? What happens if I do that? Oh, okay. Interesting. Yes, that is off for me right now for that. Starting to get some displacements here. This is not really freaking low there, but this is. Right after DXY, it's bouncing, looks like. Okay. We're having their lower time frame structure shifts now. Yes. Inverted this. Now reaching back into a 30-second here. And so is NQ. Bum bum ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum bum. Let's see what ends up happening. I think I will try the shorts. I'm trying shorts on ES, by the way. And if I get stopped out, that's fine. But like, look here. Quite the displacements here. And we're in a weekly, in line with weekly order flow. So. And dxy, it's not really bouncing too much though. For now I'm up a bit, but on ES. See if NQ runs the low. Quite weak, so it looks pretty good. Unless we just, then that's fine though, so I accept the risk. What's the hourly look like again? Yeah. Decent. One minute. Pretty nice, like, looking weak, honestly. So, chillin'. At the very least, I think ES should get to this area again. Alright, decent. Yep. So I don't really want it to come back and retrace and like close above this high then. If it does, then I'll probably like look to get out of the position. But so far so good here. Pretty nice expansions here. Nice. So all about being patient. Okay. Pretty nice. Okay, 5 handles are handled there. Let's see some expansion. Everybody that was buying there is gonna get probably cooked. Ren cube. This is in the 2 minute. Okay. So hit small first target. 5 handles are handled, 6 handles are handled. 7. I will take a partial. Okay. Partials are taken. All right. For the people that were like, let me remember what the hell I'm talking about right now. I don't know. But partials are taken. Where is it? And I said when I was getting in. So, where is that? Okay. I don't want it to come back up here. So now I'm like I booked like 6 points or so, and now I'm just like risking like whatever. 2. Pretty lit taking partials there too. Let me see. Okay, it's all about being patient. That's actually a pretty lit exit. Anyway. I'm not like a fan of how that 5-minute candle is closing, but it would have been nicer for it not to do like this crazy wick taking into this fair value gap, which is why we take partials. But we'll find out what ends up happening for the rest of my position. Right, there's 15 minutes left in this hourly candle. It's a next 15-minute candle. It could definitely go lower, yeah. Cool. Just chilling. And if I'll get stopped out here because I don't really want to. Booked profits, and it'll just be like a 2-point stop out, so it won't be a big deal. I don't really think it should come back up here if it's going to be low resistance, which it might not be. So yeah, I legit just got in there. Did it come into the 1-minute FEG? Yeah, it did, right here. So I just could have waited 1, 2, 3, 2 more minutes or so, but this is fine with an entry too. Alright, let's see it reject here. In this FEG and order block. It needs to reject now, essentially, for it to go back to new low of day. I don't know why I have that all the way down here, probably because I had my NQ settings. Okay, that's better. That's a smooth exit, by the way. For a partial, pretty smooth, because of the like I said, this was like the first target, this imbalance, and we have a little high here, so it's likely for it to just bounce up, and that just makes it easier to hold the rest. I'll look for like a new low of day, because if I'm thinking we're expanding, yeah, and yes, as the weaker sister could definitely go for a new low of day. And I think that NQ could definitely take out these lows. These are definitely some stops out here. So if NQ takes out these lows, it's likely ES does take out a new low of day. Or whenever this gets taken out, then I will just probably take off my position. If it does, I could still get possibly stopped out. I would be okay with that. because then I'd still make money on the how many points I book there? 6 points. Yeah. Protect your capital. Here, this is rejecting quite nicely, right? And this, yeah, that looks pretty good. Come on, NQ. Where's DXY doing? Nothing. You're useless sometimes. All right, let's see this expansion now. Time is at 10:50, so you know it's the ending. It's a macro time. Let's see if it starts expanding lower. It's the last 10 minutes of this hourly. Yeah, I could see that happening. And then if it does that, actually, if it closes, that, like, if it does that by like 11, then it'll be closing below this and inverting this, and more, perhaps more to come. So pretty much called that, I would say, pretty nicely so far. See, what time is it? 10:50. What time is it? Summertime. Sorry, High School Musical. Let me have some coffee. Welcome, Dylan Smith. Bum, 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 bum. Have some vitamins here. Non-sponsored. I just need to show, because everyone's going to be like, what is she eating? Is she eating candy at 10:50 in the morning? No. Yeah. So not the cleanest run lower because of, you know, stacked lows and such, right? We have like a couple of roadblocks is what we like to call them. So if you could see this, right? And then that's like where basically I took my partial, you can see. Right there. And that's why, because I could sort of anticipate, okay, it can bounce from here, have a short-term bounce. And that just makes it easier for you to hold the rest of the position, right? And not freak out. If I was still in full position here, you know, it came around almost back to break even, so that might have made me a little bit less relaxed. But also it's just good to book a partial. And plus, this is like already a 2R actually, because my stop was like around 3 points or so. So we'll end up seeing if, let's go NQ. When NQ runs this out, then I'll just close my position. Because it is very possible that like what ends up happening sometimes, like, oh, NQ now will take new low of day and ES won't, etc. When you have these kinds of divergences sometimes. But what's it's 10:53. Yeah. Remember when I said like, oh yeah, the 15-minute can definitely expand lower? That's pretty good. Pretty good. Up 9 points now on ES, pretty good. I'm gonna put a little alert so I can get and like click the close button. And now at this point, it's like, yeah, stops at break even. Hit that like button if you learned something today. What time is it? Party time. That's right, say it loud. Okay, let's see if it drops now from here. It's 10:55. That should be an IOFED in my humble opinion, meaning like small tap into it and then now expanding lower. All these people that were buying this support are probably getting it stopped out or whatever. I don't know. Let's see. And NQ particularly weak here. These small body candles precede large ones. So let's see a large one to the downside. $10.56. I do wonder, you know, yeah, I'll give it until like 11:10 or so. I do wonder how where this hourly candle will close. Right? That's London close in about 4 minutes. And I'm up 8.75 points. That's pretty good. If it closes and then like inverts this to the upside, then I'll probably look to get out of the rest of my position because it wouldn't make any sense to continue to hold. You know what I'm saying? Sorry. All right, let's see NQ. Bring us lower. IOFED so far holding up there, by the way. I'm just going to be a little patient now. Hand off the mouse. I'm going to let price do its thing. Well, actually, I will have my hand on the mouse because once the NQ like hits this, I will just get out of ES because I'm like I said, could be silly. Till 11:10, but if it inverts this, I'll get out the rest. NQ particularly weak. We have like 5 small candles, small body candles here. $10.58. Remaining patient, not worried. This decided to dig up a little bit deeper, but did not invert it or anything. Yeah, if this closes up here, then I'll likely get out, but we'll see. I have to wait until the candle closes. Right? And Q is just reaching up into its FEG. Maybe I should mark that out. Just stalling, I guess, until London close and 11:10ish. You have to remember that, like, how hourly candles form. Okay. Not my favorite close on the 15 here. See if this ends up inverting it, I will just take off the rest, but it's not yet. Oh, I went large body up to the upside, which is fine. I'll probably just end up taking that off for 5 points on that last one then. Yep. Closing out the rest on that one. 3.5 there. So, still book the win. And we chillin'. Okay, I still count that as a win, by the way. And I'm not worried about whatever is going to happen now. It's 11:01. Phew. W's in the chat or what? Pretty good. $480. Okay. So an average, we got like an average of 5 points. So 5 handles on ES when this, moved from here to here. Yeah, we got about half of the move booked in. And this closed above, Tanya got out. And you see that was a good decision. For me at least. I don't really know. It could, because the way that the next hourly candle, it could potentially know. I don't know what it wants to do. Come back up into these imbalances up here and whatever it wants to do. It didn't want to expand towards this way, or just didn't. So, phew. Honestly, pretty good. Pretty happy with how I executed. We just chillin' like villains. Chillin' like a villain. Phew. Alright. 1-800-588-2300 and call today. Pretty happy. Couldn't be happier, honestly. Couldn't be happier. Because just the way that I managed it, it's pretty good. Didn't have to be totally right about it hitting you low of day, but I still made money along the way. And that's all you can do. So. Woohoo. Do. Do we get W's in the chat? Tanya's gonna open up the chat now. Pretty good. ICT gave me some advice about chat reading and just trying to just stay focused. He's definitely a good mentor, super good. So we're chilling. How many accounts? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me just take a deep breath. Okay. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep me down. I'm the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep me down. And also you could literally see, like, I was so patient. Only execution was this. So patience, young Padawan. What up? Took the W in front of 2,000 people. Pretty cool. W. How many monitors do I have? 4. Dora, please. LOL. People want to hear me singing. No. So, pretty interesting, right? The way that this closed here. And oftentimes, like, the next hourly, right, ends up manipulating or something, because we don't just move straight down a lot of times. Was down 1,100, now up $45. Nice. Honestly, that's awesome. Did you copy trade a couple of the accounts today, or just one? No, I copy trade a few of them. I think I said 9 or so. It's not easy being green. Jeez. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. I have, like, how many more days until April 1st? I mean, May 1st for Apex payout, by the way. Because I think, like, some of them have, like, 6 days. One of them I have, like, 14 days or whatever, so I didn't take that one. You're the best around. Nothing's gonna ever keep you down. Sorry. Some people are like, stop singing, please. I'm so, like, bro, I don't know what to tell you. Like, that's, you watch a show, it's gonna happen sometimes. I'm sorry. I don't really care either, though, so go cry about it. She's so weird, she sings. So unprofessional. No, I'm just joking around, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people say that. I'm just, like, making fun of people that have, like, sticks up their asses. Head over to aisle 15 in CVS to help you with that rash from the stick up your ass. Ha. Ba-dum-bum. Tanya, I made $680 off your short call. Yeah, let's go. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. So Apex is the way to go. I do like, I have like 3 different, so you can probably see. Wait, how do I fit this on the screen? Where is it? So I have like, Apex, Top Step, my funded futures. So I copy traded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Apex accounts. There's 5. 1, 2, 3. I always after the fact I'll read it, but one of them I already have like a 14 days in CAF payout. Express accounts. I didn't get my live account yet from Top Step. And I also do not copy trade like all of them at once. Some people do, right? But in my head, at some point I will probably start doing all of them, but in my head I'm just like, oh, kind of like exposing yourself to a lot of risk. So like if you take a loss on like this batch, then like the next trade you can do for the next batch. And then how would you say? Sort of rotate. I don't know. Especially just like, you know, you don't want to blow up like so many at once. I mean, that's the idea though. You don't really take so much risk on all of them to do that. So yeah. And I have like one now with Top Step, I can have up to 4 funded accounts with them because of the live. People ask like what happens when you move up to live. So the difference is you can ask for like more of a daily drawdown loss limit because, you know, Top Step, like the most you can lose is 3,000 a day. And then like you're locked out. But if you get a live account, you can ask for a higher one. I'm personally just not going to do that because I think 3,000 is plenty to just have. Maybe in the future I'll ask for like 4,500 because I'm like, you know, that used to be the maxed loss limit on the 50Ks. Apex is good for like stacking and doing those like small wins and such. And then, you know, eventually I definitely want to do a 40K payout. I don't think I'm definitely not going to get there by the next payout. But little by little, you know. Because you need like 10 trading days. And then my funded futures, I think are also really good way to go, especially for like, if you don't like the intraday trailing from like Apex and such, then they have end of day trailing and they do not have a daily loss limit either. It's just a max loss limit. They're actually doing a sale, right? It's like $50 for any starter account. So even for the 150Ks, it's $50 for the evaluation. If you use, people ask which code, just Tanya Trades is my code. Is news trading allowed for Top Step Challenge? Yes. I think for any firm for the challenges, you can trade news for the challenge itself. But for like the actual funded account, I think, yeah, my funded futures does not allow it. You'd have an open position during it, or 2 minutes before and 2 minutes after. Okay, and Top Step, I think they do let you trade news on your funded accounts because I've seen people, you know, actually trade CPI and such, but they, you know, it's really not. There's a reason why they have that, firms have that rule in place is because it's like legit, like can wreck you, right? With those, and for my funded futures, I think it's only those, you know, check the FAQ by the way, but it's only like FOMC, CPI, and NFP, and both FOMC minutes and announcements. So like they're protecting their own capital, right? So you gotta abide by their rules. Always make sure to read the rules, you guys. So far I'm really happy with how I handled that because look at how it's retraced up. And it can definitely, you know, ES could definitely go for this hourly fair value gap now. So played it the best I could. Yeah, micro scalping is not allowed on my funded futures, which is like how they define it. I think it's like if you trade, if like 50% of your trades are less than 5 points on NQ, and if they last 15 seconds or less. So if you're a scalper, micro scalper, then Apex is the way to go, because I believe I even saw that Michael Patak from Top Step said that Top Step does not allow scalping like that either. That because they've seen from their data, it's just not profitable for them over time. And you gotta abide by the rules then. If you're not trading your own capital, you have to read their rules for sure. Read every contract, you guys. But yeah, I think that that sale for my funded futures is until the end of the month. So if you use code Tanya Trades, you'll get any starter account for $50, and it is valid for rebills. So like if you buy it for $50 this month and like you fail it, you can just wait for it to rebuild the next month, and you'll have the same deal. Yeah. Always read. That's my biggest thing. It's like, you guys, everybody always read the contracts you sign, read the fine print, even if it takes you a few hours. Like, it will help you understand things better, and not get sideswiped later and get mad or whatever. I've always seen on Twitter, even from Forex companies and such, people get mad about certain things, and it's like, if it was in the contract, like, you signed it, etc. I took like the whole weekend to read the Top Step Live account contract. Like, I didn't rush into that because, it's good to get an understanding of how that works and what you're getting into and what the rules are. I can't really speak about it because it says, even in it says like it's confidential and you can't share. So very, very good exits, I think. I'm totally fine with how I took that trade. So an average about like 5 points, 5 handles handled in a, like a 10-point range. That's lit. The only issue is that if you have a tight stop loss and NQ kicks you out of the trade in less than 15 seconds, it will still be micro scalping. I think I don't think it matters so much for the losses, right? I think it matters if like your wins are those micro scalping and they see that. Like, I don't think it matters for the losses. That's happened to me. Tanya, is there a reason you prefer ES over NQ the past few days? I did speak about this earlier when I think I wrote it out here as a reminder. So here we go. Here we go. Plan to short ES. Weaker than NQ and has weekly liquidity lower. So that's why. So we can hang around a little bit, but was ICT in the chat today, by the way? Was he here today? Any expert deals at my funded futures? They don't really do expert sales so much because like that's like the best account, the best account with like the most freedom. So they just want people to like, I guess, take it seriously and like willing to pay the money for that. But if you use code Tiny Trades, like you'll always get the best discount everywhere. I think like it'll still give you like 5%, and it'll give you 15% off resets as well. But I don't know, maybe I'll talk to them. Maybe for like how many subscribers up now? Because one time I was able to convince them to like give you guys a flash discount, right? How many subscribers do I have right now? Because I wanted to do like when I do hit 50K, I want to do something. Okay, 49.2. Maybe I'll ask them for the code for when I hit 50K, and I'll do a couple giveaways. But I'll see how I end up running giveaways in the future, because it is very distracting. And like if I'm trading, I really can't be doing giveaways. Like ICT sent me an email the other day. I was shocked I got an email from ICT, by the way. I was like, oh my gosh. It was so nice. And it read exactly like how he types on like his YouTube posts and his Twitter and such. So it was really fun reading it. But he was really nice. But he was essentially saying like, you know, you're getting pretty distracted from the chat, and do an exercise to see like 100% off the chat, and you know, no giveaways, no polls and such like that. So yeah, I tried that today actually, and it looks like I was much better focused. I think less distracted. I was much better focused. And I think people prefer it that way anyway. Like they'd rather see me analyze and trade rather than read some random comments that might not be, that are not relevant in the moment. You know, because trading is already really difficult. But I mean, I'll see how I end up I do want to do a giveaway for when I hit 50k. Maybe I'll do it like at the end of a stream, or I don't know, or like at a separate stream. Or maybe I'll do like a whole separate, just a submission thing that's not like live, because I don't know, if I do announce like a giveaway, I don't particularly care to have more viewers. You know what I'm saying? Like it is really a lot if your viewers are not if they're there just for a giveaway, it's not a quality audience, and it's kind of stressful because then there's entitled people. I'd rather give it away to the real ones anyway. So I'll see what I end up doing for that. So isn't that kind of interesting? Still navigated this very well. And it's kind of interesting how now ES is sort of like I thought would happen. I thought what would happen was that NQ would first take this low and ES like would not take this low or this one. And like then ES would be stronger, because like that's what tends to happen, is that like they like switch when it's low probability conditions. One of them will start stronger and then they'll like switch. I don't know. But yeah, I appreciate everyone for coming. Like I was saying earlier, it's like yeah, even I don't particularly care to grow the audience so much. Like you saw, like I had if you grow so quickly, it becomes hard to manage, hard to handle. Like you know, there was one point I think I had 5,000 people watching, and then you know, shortly afterwards I took like a break because I was like, okay, I actually don't want that many people watching, so I don't need it. Like I'd rather slowly grow to that point, and have the audience be like quality people that are here to like sort of learn and read price together and be positive. So anyway, this is really weird here. These lows are suspect for me for later for NQ. Anyway, you know, book the win even in these like pretty tough conditions. We still were able to book a win from like internal to internal, which is pretty difficult, right? Because you could build a bridge towards where it's going and still make money. But in the afternoon, I'll still be looking for shorts if I do engage with price. So I hope everyone has a good day, stay safe, and trade responsibly. I'll see you back here tomorrow for Friday. Ciao.